Hello, viewer. It's a Sunday. It's October. It is the 16th. It is the year of our Lord 2022. I am Mr. Brown, and I trust you are all very well today. On today's live stream, we are discussing the news of the week, the TV, the movies, and the twattersphere. So, as I always say, lots to get through. Shall we get the guests out? Of course we should. First, he is the backbone of Sunday nights, and hopefully he's not boomered this. It is the mighty Matt Cat 83.
Oh, shit. What's up, nerds?
Hello, you all right?
I am good. I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. Are you sure about that? You're okay, yes?
Yeah. I'm good.
Are you
How are
sure?
you? Yeah, no, I'm just like you said. I'm boomering it up today. I
We're
don't know
all
what's going
boomering,
on.
mate. Not just you, mate.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I'm doing well. I'm doing well. My kids are driving me mental today, but as you Brits would say, they are full of beans today, and it is driving me crazy.
That's what kids do.
That's what they do. But
how's the channel going, my friend?
I think it's going well, slowly but surely, but
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady, yeah. But I think it's going well. So
Have you recovered from the ordeal of yesterday's She-Hulk stream?
I have. As soon as we got off, I had a couple of drinks, and then I watched some TV a little bit with the wifey, and then I went to bed.
What did you watch? She-Hulk?
No. I asked her if she wanted to watch it, and she's like, "I'm not interested in that." So, but we watched Making the Cut. It's like a fashion designer show. Me and my wife watched it. It's one of those shows we watch together. I know, crickets. Okay. Crickets. All right. Let's bring up the next guest.
Yes, of course we should. Okay. Next, he is into movies and now TV, and we love him on the team. He's had a bad day because of a certain program. He is the movie cynic. Hello there.
Hello there.
How are you today, my friend? Are you stressed?
I am so stressed out right now. Yeah, She-Hulk has been the bane of my existence. The fact that you have a She-Hulk avatar is even kind of triggering me.
Are you angry?
Not as angry as Jen got at the end of episode 9, I guess, or 8, whatever.
Well, every episode.
Every episode, yeah. But my She-Hulk video should premiere after the stream. If you guys are into that and want to see me tear it apart it was originally 38 minutes, and YouTube made me cut 4 minutes out of it because I guess I was too mean. So it's a 34-minute video.
Have you been hurting people's feelings?
I think that it did.
Oh dear.
I went hard, so they made me cut out the hardest parts.
Perhaps too hard. Okay, so it will be worth it in the end, my friend. You know that.
I hope so.
Okay. Don't forget. Have you posted the link? Have you got the link on YouTube?
No, yeah. I'm waiting until it's until the ad restriction thing goes away, and then yeah, because who knows? Maybe I get to delay it again.
Ugh.
Wouldn't that be great? And then
it will be.
She-Hulk lives on in my mind.
Yeah, it'll be season 2 by the time you get it out. So you know what my next question is, don't you, my friend?
Shall we bring out the next guest?
I think we should. Back by popular demand, meaning me. It's Problem Being is here, everybody. Hello.
Get your guest out for the lads. Hello.
You all right, pal?
Yeah, not too bad. Less stressed than the movie cynic is, because I've managed to avoid this entire train wreck. So that's a lesson for you right there.
I would ask you, how's your channel going?
Well, I do have a channel, but it's my 3D and music stuff that I'm putting out, which has been a bit inactive lately. But I was waiting for a new computer, which I now have. So nice. I should be putting stuff out. yeah.
I will say, if anybody
more
needs
on
some
that later.
3D work, Probby is your man. So
I
everything's
do
good
lots
in
of
Probby
titles,
land,
lots of
yes?
theme tunes. yeah,
Do you,
not
do
too
you
bad.
sing the theme tune?
Sing the theme tune, act the theme tune,
Write the theme tune.
write the theme tune.
So you're well, my friend.
My singing days are long gone.
I will say it's
My old
genuinely good
band
to have you
days.
back on, mate.
Thank you
Genuinely
very
good to have
much.
you back on. So, my next question is there.
Where the hell have you been all my life? No, okay,
Well,
next guest.
And last, but by no means least, he is the wise elder of the channel. You know the rest. It is the great mega geek himself, Ian David Diaz.
Hello.
You all right?
Hello. I'm all right. How you guys doing? All right?
Hello.
Yeah, we're all
Hello.
right. You all right? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm not stressed. I'm pretty happy. Unlike I guess Matt and Mr. Cynic. So I'm okay. I'm fine.
No, just have a couple of kids. You'll get there. Promise.
Nah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not soon, anyway. Not soon. Anyway. Yeah.
So-
So I'm around.
Everything well with Ian? Yes.
Yeah. Everything's fine.
Super duper. Super
Living-
duper. Shall we say hello, chat? Hello, chat. We can see you.
Hello, chat.
Hey, chat.
Hello, chat. Hello there. Okay, so episode 98. I made a bit of a mess with the episode numbers yesterday. The Curse of She-Hulk. But this is officially episode 98. End of week musings, Sunday, October 16th, 2022. There is Mr. Robbie Coltrane.
Bless him.
Mr. Brown Alliance, 1,000 subs. We need. Somebody's playing mind games. I've been going to. I think I've celebrated 700 subs 4 times today,
Oh God.
and I think I'm on 699 at the moment.
See, that was a huge mistake on my part because I was gonna, have my premiere and then bring people over from my channel over here and rate it. But I messed up.
Curse of She-Hulk.
Yep.
Never mind. Okay,
Corporate
we'll move on
collusion.
from She-Hulk. Never mind. Big week for the TV. Lots of finales. I was struggling to put them in order of importance, but I think this one was the main one, wasn't it?
I mean,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
R.I.P. Rings of
watched?
Power.
As a Brit, I've not watched this.
I refuse. It's,
As a Brit.
as an Englishman, it's an English story. It's there to replace lost English folklore from back in the days of yore, prior to all the invasions of William the Bastard and all the others, and the Vikings and the Anglo-Saxons, and it was effectively there to give us a mythology that was erased from our past, and here they are bastardizing it for I don't know who for, actually. I mean,
For a new generation.
all the comments I seem to see, all the comments I seem to see on any sort of Rings of Power video from Prime is oh my god, this is like so cool. Oh my god, Galadriel is so hot. I mean, this
No, she's
bullshit.
Yeah,
Well,
she's
she
not.
isn't, obviously, but oh Halbrand, oh my god, Sauron, oh my god, I'm looking forward to season 2. Oh my god, and it's just like fuck off. And that was just the interview with the producers. So I was not plussed. I mean, the more I learned about this, the more I was well out way before it even aired. And
I've just come
I'm
off
glad I
Gary's review of
saved
it.
myself.
Whoa. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw
Yeah, it's
that
not
Savage.
good.
Spot on.
It's not good.
In the chat, before we proceed, communism check clear. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
I like
Who's
Melvin
seen this
deeply
then?
says, I hate English people. They smell like beetroot. What's wrong with beetroot? I haven't had beetroot in years, mind you.
I
but,
do believe.
fair enough.
I do believe the mighty Melvin. Here you go. I hate. I'll say again. I hate English people. They or Sassenachs. They smell like beetroot. I really do like beetroot, though.
Good
I
for
don't
you.
know the yonks, but yeah, I used to like it.
Beetroot is a power vegetable, folks.
The darker it is, the better it is for you.
It is. It is. It is. So who's
That's what
seen
she
this?
I've seen it. It is not
Go on,
good.
Katsy. Go on.
It's horrible. It's not. If you like continuity, there's no way you can like this show. There's just absolutely no way. And everybody keeps saying it's fan fiction. They are 100% correct. The people that wrote this did not read any source material. I swear they didn't. They say they did. They didn't have the rights to the stuff that they should have got the rights to. And it shows because I'm all like, they'll do stuff and I'm all like, when did this shit happen? And it's bad acting. And there's times when it's really pretty. And then there's times where we're all like, this is not pretty. And it's just bad. It's bad. Yeah, I didn't like it at all. Well, I take that back. There is some things that I like. Like there's Elrond and Durin. All the scenes with them in them, I actually liked. Same thing with all the dwarves. That was pretty good. But yeah, it was just not good.
Did you see Eminem with the breasts?
See, everybody keeps
What?
calling her Eminem. I keep calling her Sinead O'Connor because I'm all like, she shocks me every
Don't diss
time.
the Sinead.
But my whole thing is with that character and those ladies in white, I was all like, who are these women and what is the point? Because
Something
they show
for
up.
everybody, mate.
Well, they show up. They're literally, I would say, they're in this show for like 5 minutes tops, and the whole time I'm all like,
So,
who are
Nina
these
Moday,
bitches? Yeah,
well,
I'm.
so
You know how
Nina
they're
Moday.
called they look like the Nazgul. So I did a meme called and I showed the picture where they all turned into the sort of Nazgul like apparitions, and I said, all the single ladies, all the single ladies.
That's funny.
They should have put a ring on it, and
It's the Naz girls.
The Nas girls. That's funny.
In the chat, Mephisto Tharthiv. Beetroots, cool and very true. A superfood, they are.
I don't think I've ever
So,
had beetroot.
If you can take any positivity from this live stream, beetroot, superfood.
I just love that we're talking about beetroot.
As
Rather
opposed to
than
this
the rings of
shite.
power.
It's more interesting than this show, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
To counterbalance the beetroot discussion, Franco Walker, beetroot is disgusting.
Get out
Right
of
on.
here.
Harsh.
And I just want to say,
Although I
like,
haven't
with
eaten
this,
it in Yonks.
right on.
Cool.
Yeah. This show. Okay, so this show, all the main characters, for instance, like Isildur, they make it seem like Isildur's dead, and I'm like, he's not dead. And anybody that knows anything about these books knows that he's not dead. So there's no high stakes when it comes to the characters. Like, we know Galadriel's not going to die, so anything that happens where she could die, you know, she's not going to. So I'm all like, you have no like on the edge of your seat parts of this show. And it's written badly. The dialogue is shit. The action sequences are shit. The wire work on this show is pure shit. And everybody gets mad at me and they argue with me and they're like, oh, well, you bitch about Galadriel beating a snow troll in 9 seconds, but Legolas beat that cave troll in 9 seconds. I'm like, no, he didn't. It took 9 people fighting a cave troll in the first movie to beat that cave troll, and it wasn't just Legolas. I'm like, Galadriel literally wire works. She crouching tiger, hidden dragons off of a sword, and then she beats that sucker in like 2 seconds. It's ridiculous. This show sucks, and I don't understand people that like it. But whatever. What do I know?
But other
This
than
is
those
why-
points, you liked it, yes?
Absolutely.
This is why prequels are a stupid idea, unless it's something like Better Call Saul, which is fantastic. I mean,
I can't wait to watch
it's
that.
a rarity that
Oh,
prequels
yes.
are.
I just
good,
watched Breaking
but,
Bad for the
there
first
are
time.
Get it watched.
That's next.
exceptions.
You know what this show worries me about is like the people who enjoy the prequels to Star Wars now. I feel like they are searching for that next generation of fans, and how everyone who's normal thinks that the prequels suck. And like 20 years from now, everyone's gonna be like, man, remember how good Rings of Power was?
Oh.
Fear for that.
It's not that. It's that ordinary people don't really know what's good and what's bad. So my sisters and my brothers thought, the Last Jedi was brilliant, because all they see is the spectacle.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they can't see how bad the story is, or how bad it compares to, or the connection between the original 3 and this one. They can't see that stuff, so they just accept it at face value. And that's the problem, you see. A majority of people accept it as face value, especially this crap. Rings of rubbish.
Thickos.
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Movie,
There are a lot of them, though. That's the thing.
Movie. Are you up to date with the series then?
I am not. That is next on my list, and it's
After
probably
Hulk.
Yeah, I need like one day to recuperate, and then I'll start on Tuesday and probably get a video out on the weekend. It'll probably be another long one.
That's
Do
what
you
she
feel like
said.
you're a slave to the streaming thing? Because if you have like 2 weeks off, don't the audience disappear or something? Your audience go
I mean,
away.
I wanted to. That's why I was so adamant about getting that She-Hulk video out today. Before, I mean, I'm sick of it. So imagine what the audience is going to be in a week. Does anyone want to watch a She-Hulk video in a week? Probably not.
Oh
Timing
yeah,
is
it's gonna be
everything.
too
Yeah. Not Brian in the chats. Hello, not Brian. Everything comes back to that film.
the last crap. Yeah.
There is only
Yeah.
one saving grace from this abomination of a
that?
program.
What's that?
They are saving lives.
They are. They are saving his lives. There's
From the
always that.
fascist adjacent ruiners of democracy and the patently evil people. It's just the hyperbole surrounding this is outrageous. I can't believe they've actually gone to the point now of actually calling people. I mean, beyond fascists and misogynists and far right, it's now patently evil. I mean, this is just ridiculous and reckless. I mean, they really need to pay the price for that. Outrageous.
Yeah, they're not even specific with their criticism of that either. It's very ambiguous so that they can stir the pot really well.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I think we've gone beyond all talk is good talk. All news is good news, or it really isn't. I think they think that just by people talking about it, that it's going to bring eyes to the screen, and I really don't think that's how they think it works. It really doesn't, I'm sure.
But the question is, how many people are actually watching the Rings of Power? That's the thing, you see. All of us can talk till the cows come home, but we don't know how many people's watching this show. It could be a shitload of people watching this show. It could be.
They would have been bragging about it. They would have been bragging about it. The thing is that they haven't bragged about it since their opening first 2 episodes, and from all reports, it got less views later on than Cobra Kai.
Apparently, the last episode, Amazon put an advert halfway through as a kind of to kind of artificially inflate the numbers watching. I think you had to click back in to watch the remainder.
But as I said, we don't know. We don't know really. Obviously, we're guessing, and it's a good guess that hardly anybody's watching this. But the thing is, remember, you have to think about this. Are we in our own bubble where we all the people that we know don't like this?
No.
I actually was in a hospital a couple of days ago, and this guy that was doing a scan on my knee because I got a problem with my knee. He was saying to me, "Oh, you've been watching any TV lately?" And I said, "Well, not really." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, the Rings of Power. Yeah, I think that's good. I've been watching it. It's okay.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah." So, do you know what I mean? So he's just a doctor and he was talking about Rings of Power. So that's why I question, are we in our own bubble? Is there enough people watching this to justify the second season?
It would
maybe
be
there
interesting
is.
to see how many bumps in Prime memberships have gone up or down over that period.
I won't tell you that.
In the chat, Tin Hannibom, the showrunners said they wanted to include 10, 11, 12-year-olds. I bet they did.
It's very worrying, isn't it? Stuff like that.
Okay.
I would not let my children watch this. I'd be like,
I was just going to say, sorry, Matt. I would just say the one way to just stop buying goods from Amazon. Support your local
Nah,
retailer.
nobody's gonna stop doing that.
And
Yeah,
they
that
know
would be the
that.
hardest.
Yes,
That's
I know,
ludicrous.
and that's the biggest double standard of all. And they know they've got everybody right where they want.
But but the thing is, though, there's nothing wrong with buying stuff for Amazon. What we're all saying, and I do believe we're all saying this, is this show is rubbish. It really is rubbish. From the writing to the acting to the stupidness of the agenda they've stuck into it. We all know that, right? But the big question is there enough people watching it so that Amazon is not too is all right about it? It's not a huge hit, but it's got enough people watching it so they can justify doing the others.
They know it's shit.
Well, but that's the thing. Do they? You see, we can speculate all you want, right? But we don't have a definitive answer to this, do we? That's the thing.
Well, unless if they've got their head in the sand and they're called emus.
Well, you can go by.
If this was a court of law, you won't win, would you, with that argument? Would you?
Yeah, but
Do you know what I'm saying?
You can go
But it's
by
not court
other
of law.
precedents. You can go by other precedents, though. You can see the reactions to Star Wars and all the other things that have been, vastly criticized and how they underperformed. So I think if you can extrapolate from that, you can cast that onto this. And looking at the engagement with anything that was released by Prime on YouTube and whatnot, the dislike ratio was incredibly high, probably the most highest I've ever seen on anything. So if that's anything to go by, and bearing in mind this is also one of the oldest fandoms in the world, this is one of the granddaddies, if you like, and I think just by word of mouth alone, and people just watching this guff would be bored and just go, oh, I don't know what.
I would really love to know the numbers on it. That's what I'm saying. I would really love to know the numbers.
Here you go, Mephisto. Respectfully, Mega Geek, that's you. No, this is not just our own bubble.
Yeah, I agree.
We all found our way here because deep inside us, we felt something was.
I know, but
deeply wrong.
Well, I do totally agree with you, and I agree with Lee, and I agree with everyone here. Yes, I think we're all right. Yes, but it would be nice. That's what I'm saying, to get officially confirmation that hardly anybody's watching this show. That would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
In the words of not Brian Young, bag of shite. Let's move on.
It is a bag of shite.
And don't forget, you can still order things from Amazon. But if you don't have an Amazon Prime account, it just means you won't get it for another day or two. But you can still cancel your Prime and still order from them without having to be exposed to this nonsense. So there is that option.
Yeah.
Okay. So shall we just say thank fuck it's over for 2-3 years?
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll bring to that.
Yeah, I think they're filming now. It's just going to take them that long to get all the visual effects.
They're filming in England, aren't they?
Yeah, which they started. I love how they started filming in New Zealand, and then they had to pull out of there because
of COVID.
Too many restrictions.
And say goodbye to those wonderful mountains and natural beauty. That probably the only thing that people were like watching it and praising it for was just.
Where were they watching? Yeah, where were they? Yeah, where are they filming in England? Is it like Shepperton or something, or Elstree, or
studio? Isn't it? They built a new studio, I think.
All right. Okay.
So more money.
Don't know where.
Okay. So from the ridiculous to the even more ridiculous. Who would like to go first? Let me guess.
Cynic.
Movie? Care to go first?
Sure. So I hate this show. I'm so excited. I think after today, I never have to talk about it again. What's fun is the new video coming out will take place of my Rings of Power video. So it will go from, are you sure you don't just hate black elves, to, are you sure you're not a misogynist? So I'm really excited about those comments. Really looking forward to those.
Right.
Yep. But let's see. True. For 5 days I've worked on that video.
Oh.
And what did I tell you guys? It was like 22 hours straight with 2 hours of sleep last night.
Shit.
I am so excited to be done with this TV show. Oh, I hate this show. And just working on the videos made me hate it more. And someone just commented too, I just saw on my channel, of Why are you giving it time? But I mean, I make money off it, but besides that, I'm questioning my own capacity to judge things. I
What are
think.
you going to say? Sanity.
No, well, yeah. I mean, it's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, this show sucks. It's such a, and I said this last night. It's such a waste of potential. Like, this show could have been so good
Yep.
if they just would have, even like getting Dan Slott, even though I don't like his writing except for She-Hulk, just to add, getting his input on what they should have done, what I think would have gone miles with this show. And they didn't do any of that. They just made this dumb show that's not even an attorney at law kind of show. It's just a show that they've said themselves was to make fun of the online trolls. And I'm all like, what? You spent all that money just to make fun of some assholes online? That's such a waste of money. And that's so stupid. It's so stupid.
In the chat, the uninspired reviewer, I was called sexist and part of intelligentsia on my reviews.
I'm sorry. If it makes you feel better, I was called names too. I don't know if that would help.
What were the names?
Oh, the regular stuff. I was called, well, one person called me Donald Trump Jr. One person said, my favorite one was I was called a Republican.
That's a great one.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's that. But it made me laugh out loud. But I was all like, what? I was like, well, I love the people that tell me to go off myself, and I'm like, over this, you guys, I'm
gonna die on that She-Hulk.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm all like, you guys, I'm like, this is not. I was like, y'all are crazy. Like, some people were nice, and they're just like, I disagree. But some people, I'm just like, y'all get way too mad because I don't like this show. I'm like, if you like it, by all means, have at it. Have at it. I'm just not with you.
I mean, look how dead how dead everyone felt yesterday reviewing episode 9. I was just like, oh god.
And that's how you feel after watching an episode of that show. You're just like, oh, can this please end so I can get on with my life? And it's like, they're only 30 some odd minutes, but you're just like, please, for the love of Jesus, I don't want to watch this anymore.
But she's going to be in the new Avengers film, isn't she?
They said no, right? Didn't they in episode 9? She was like, "Won't I be in the movie?" And...
Yeah, but that's the thing. They've confirmed her for the Captain America 4 movie. She's going to be in that one. Yeah. So I don't. And Mark Ruffalo said she was even going to be in that movie because he's going to be in that movie also. So I'm all like, why are they writing these? Do they not talk to each other over at Marvel? They're just like, write whatever you want because it doesn't even matter. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Well, hopefully it won't be the same writers.
Oh, I hope so. Well, the same people that were on Falcon and Winter Soldier are going to do Captain America 4. What is that called? Oh, New World Order.
Yeah. I wasn't looking forward to that. Now I'm really not looking forward to that.
I know.
I don't think I want to watch any. I'm done with Marvel.
Well, they're going to have they're going to have her, and they're going to have the girl with the big fists. I can never remember her name.
Miss Marvel.
And Miss Marvel, whatever her name is, yeah. And they're going to have the other one, Miss Marvel, the other girl with the blonde hair with the ugly feet. She's going to be in it, and you know what I mean. It's just going to be all the ones that nobody like in the next Avengers movie.
And Tim Hannabum. Sorry if I'm ruining your name. It's bad on purpose. And absolutely, this was all done to destroy our culture, and to mock us and to subvert everything and to turn everything on its head. It's all part of this, postmodern wokery. It's all done to piss you off and to drive you away from your own culture and destroy it from the inside, and then replace it with their enlightened new versions of everything. And you will like it, and your betters, your elites will command you to follow. And if you do not, you shall not pass. You shall be forever thrown into the pit of eternal fire by these new high priests of your culture. And it's very sad to see how this is happening in front of your very eyes. And it's so frustrating because you feel absolutely powerless to do anything about it. But
Start a movie channel.
Make their own.
In
So
in
it's
the
quite easy.
chat, I did say I'm out with Marvel, but has reminded me. Perhaps I will go see Snowflake and Safe Space, the movie.
There
I'm
you go.
definitely going to go
Oh
watch
hell
that.
yeah!
For sure.
Yeah, that's the one to
Yeah,
watch,
there is.
folks. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what gets me about Marvel is with the MCU is the characters that they're picking now are from Marvel now, and although none of those characters worked in the comic books, all of their lines got canceled, brought back, canceled again because they never caught on, those characters. Not one of them. They had low sales with those comic books to the point where they had to cancel them, and that says a lot these days when you have to cancel a comic book for low sales. Because right now you could get the lowest sales that back in the day would have got you canceled, but today they're like, oh no, that's good. But they're bringing back like Riri Williams, Ms. Marvel, Falcon as Captain America. All of those got canceled. So they're doing what they did in the comic books to these movies, and I go, why? They weren't good there. Nobody caught on. What makes you think they're going to catch on now? And they're obviously not, because these movies aren't doing well.
Feminist movement is in charge of mostly of every kind of entertainment now. They've worked for years and years and years to get there, and now they're there, and now we're suffering the consequences. So don't be too surprised if it gets worse before it gets any better. That's all I can say.
Franco Walker in the chat. Call Me Chato did a brilliant review of the press release of She-Hulk.
He did.
I watched it.
I watched that too. That was so good.
Absolutely
Great guy.
spot.
Great channel.
Yeah.
It is very good.
More people watch his show than any show on the BBC. It's crazy, right? When you think about it.
Yeah.
Right on.
It is. And even more people
well-deserved.
watch Gary's thing than EastEnders now. EastEnders gets less
By
than
the
a
way,
million now. It's crazy.
I just want to mention that we did have him on this stream, so you guys should go check out that episode.
Yeah, we had Chato a few weeks ago.
As soon as you're done with this, go check that episode out on this stream.
Perhaps I should reach out again. He said he'd come back on at any time, so perhaps we'll bring him back on.
He seems like a very nice
I want to be on that one with him. I've been standing him for a while. So
okay, I will say there is a poll. I did put a poll in the chat, which is worse, Rop or He-Hulk. So vote away, my friends, and then we'll do the winner at the end if I remember. Okay, so do we ever want to see She-Hulk again?
I know you do,
this
Ian.
iteration.
I would like to see the
green
character.
one, yes.
I would like to see the character again, but not if these writers are involved. They're just they don't understand the character, and they don't understand how to write a good show. They just they just want to troll trolls online, or as they like to call them, hate channels. And I go, if that's what you're interested in, I'm not interested in what you have to tell me.
Kibblesmith.
He's got a punchable face, isn't he, Kibblesmith?
Yeah, he's a douche.
Yeah.
This show has put me right on the cusp of watching every Marvel project from here on out in bad faith. And right, and it's crazy how in just a year, like I went from a massive Marvel, MCU fan to hating it in just a year.
Right on, yeah. I have a twin brother. He's a huge Marvel guy, and I'm a DC kid, and we argue all the time. He hates Marvel now. He's like, I'm not interested in it. Like he's like mega geek. He's completely stopped. He's like, nope. He's like, I get a whiff of woke, and I'm out. And he's like, he's not watching any of this.
Is your twin brother American?
He is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Okay,
he
so
looks just like me.
What we really wanted was the Bridget Nielsen She-Hulk in the 80s. That's the She-Hulk.
Yeah,
we were.
I remember
her being interviewed on the Terry Wogan show that she was coming out with the She-Hulk back in the 80s, and unfortunately never.
I would have watched that. I'd watch that now if they made it.
In the chat, also watch out for soon-to-be unemployed Liz Trust as a new British superheroine for Marvel.
Lizard Truss. Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Me either.
It's our Prime Minister.
For you.
I don't pay
Oh, that's why we don't know.
Right. So Andor. Have they got out of that field yet? Talking about their feelings. Has anything happened?
Either or.
Andor. Yeah.
I have to say, didn't like this show starting out, but I've watched all the episodes a handful of times. Like I've watched them. I watched the first 3, 4, and then the all of them a total of 3 times. But the show's not bad. It's just really like
You've just lost your cool
my
card,
problem
mate.
is the pacing.
Sorry,
It's like
Melvin.
it's like the episodes are so much longer than they need to be, and I'm all like, did anybody tell Gilroy he could wrap this up in like 20 minutes, a half hour? He doesn't need to go this long. And they take too long to get to where they're going. Like there was this big spoiler alert, but there's this big heist at the end of episode 6, and I'm like, it took us way too long to get to this heist, and then the heist wasn't as long as it could have been, because I was like, oh, they could have done this, and this, and that would have made it way cooler. But it's not bad. It's just, for me personally, it's a little boring. It's a little boring.
In the chat, MC, hello MC. This week's Andor was pretty good.
Yeah, I think what saved it is that heist sequence, which was the last, I think, like 15 minutes. Yeah,
Is
it was
still a
pretty
slow
good.
burn?
Yeah, for sure. I would say yes.
Movie, you watch this?
On just the first 3 episodes, I think I'm going to do the same thing I did with
Binge.
She-Hulk. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do with TV series from now on, because I found like I can really formulate my ideas and what I want to say about the show when I've can sit there and binge it as one giant product. Even though if you're watching a bad show, it can feel like hell. But I like the first few episodes of Andor, and that it's a low stakes Star Wars show. So I don't have a ton invested in it, and so it I can give it more of a chance.
Well, we saw we did a review on the film. What is it, Rogue One? And we were talking about it, me and Ian and Problem, and we all realized how fast that movie moved. It was action, then it moved, then it was action, and it's action, then you had the big climax.
Yeah.
This, I'm sorry to say, it's like watching paint dry. It is so awful. I don't understand why people like this at all. I really don't.
Well, the writing's not bad.
The writing's terrible. If you're not engaged, that means it's awful.
The problem is they waste too much time with all the in between the writing parts.
And
like,
yet, Matt, you say you like it. Do you know what I mean?
There's, for instance, I think it's episode 2, where this woman Brix or Brox or whatever, she's walking through this little town or whatever, and it takes like 5 minutes, and I'm all like, you could cut this whole scene out. There's no need for this. There's no dialogue. She's not doing anything special just to go contact Stellan Skarsgård. I was like, Gilroy could have cut this scene out. There was no need for this. I don't need to see how she's getting in. Yeah, it was just filler. But if you took that out and all the little filler episodes, like you said, it would move along faster and it would be a better show.
You know why that is, though, don't you? Because half of these projects that are now serialized were probably intended to be films.
Yeah, they're filling time.
So they're obviously just doing it for watched. Several more hours.
Yeah, they're doing it for watched minutes.
Well, I would have to say it would be better as a movie.
That's why there's long credits. This is like 7 or 8 minutes.
This is why I have arguments with my brother, my normie brother, because they say things like what Matt says just now. Yeah, they walk too long and it's blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, why are you saying you like it then? If this is the trash they're offering you, you make no sense whatsoever. Yet you're sitting there going, I like it. It's like, come on. Just face reality here. You know what I mean?
Matty, tell him to
bollocks. Of any Marvel Disney bollocks.
You bollocks.
So I have
go bollocks. Go bollocks.
No time for any of it. I would not take my eyes with any more Disney or Marvel trash. I'm simply done with it. I just
don't blame you.
Insulting. How many times can these fuckers insulting you and they get away with it and you keep going back to them? Fuck
I don't know. Andy Mouse, hello Andy. Loving Andor, slower the better of this gold. I think Andy likes it.
Ooh. Well, at least he's being honest and
he is,
making sense. Unlike people that say, "Oh,
uninspired needs a tighter script."
Yeah, it does.
Okay, shall we move on before we start punching out?
No,
this
the
is
show.
something I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to watching this
Lee,
tonight.
do you want to go
Me
first? Then?
too. Me too.
Matt Smith is going to be going to
Yeah.
be James Bond, isn't he? Yay!
Is he? Is he
Right,
really?
yeah,
Nah.
he's been sort of yeah. This is what they do when someone just becomes popular suddenly. You know, they go, "Oh yeah, that'll be the next James Bond, or that'll be the next Superman, whatever."
He's
But,
not hot enough to
this
be.
is,
Most channels are loving
I was
this.
sitting on the
They are
fence. I
genuinely
was sitting on the
surprised
fence
by
on
this.
I was sitting on the
Interesting, don't you
fence,
think?
sitting on the fence
Yeah.
on this for a while. I was enjoying it, but not overly enthusiastic with it as much as, let's say, Nerdrotic or Shad or those people. But I was waiting for something to really sort of kick off, and I really thought that the last episode of this was fantastic. This was
Wow.
I think this episode that happened last week was where I needed it to get to, and I think that really sort of threw into relief that I was kind of right in my estimation of the previous episode. It was plodding along quite nicely, but it was very slow, even with the time jumps, but it was progressing okay. I didn't particularly like any of the characters, so I was finding it difficult to invest. But with King Viserys, that performance was phenomenal, and I was really pulled in at that point for the first time properly. And I thought this episode really brought it home, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes from here on in.
Good.
Matty Catty?
Oh, I'm with Lee, except I've looked forward to it every week. I love this show. It's fantastic. The way that they transfer from the book to screen makes me really happy, because in the book it's like you get 3 or 4 versions of one story, but the show has said, no, this is the story, this is the true one, and I like that a lot. The acting is fantastic. Patty, what's his face, is Constantine. Yeah, he is amazing. If he doesn't win an award for this in any way, shape, or form, then they don't know what they're talking about, and they don't know what good acting is, because he is acting the shit out of this show. And I'm sad that he's going to be gone now, because I'm like, he's so good. But yeah, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for tonight to 9 o'clock to roll around, because me and my wife are going to be sitting in front of that TV, and I'm gonna have to watch that stupid intro, and then we're gonna get to the good stuff. But yeah, no, this show is must watch TV in my opinion.
Yeah,
there you go, folks.
We've got a good reason to like it, Matt.
2 a.m.
Well, unlike Andor, this show, the scripts are tight, and very good. Very good.
Melvin Deeply, I've still
Scripts
not
are
started
tight.
watching this.
Melvin, you can you should do it, dude. Just do it. It's so good. It's so good. I love it.
Okay.
Just don't shit the bed, for fuck's sake. That's all I ask.
Well, I have the way they could, like, I have theories of how they're going to end it from the book. I just don't know which one they're going to, there's two places that they could end it at. And I'm very curious to see if either one of those are it. I don't want to give anything away, because I don't know if it would be, but
okay. I'm assuming nobody else has watched any of it.
No.
Nope.
This is another one of those rare examples of a prequel done right, because I think it's so far back, it doesn't really impact on the previous show, that it's the previous story too. So I think that has enough distance, and after the debacle of Game of Thrones and the last few seasons of that absolutely destroyed your faith in it, this has resurrected that brand beautifully, and it's taken a while for me. I was looking forward to watching it, but I was kind of still a bit but yeah, as I say, that episode.
Here you go, Tim Anibom, waiting for Mauler's final overview before I watch it.
Fair enough. But watch it for yourself, and use your own thoughts, your own judge it by your own standards. Don't wait for anyone to tell you. I would, that's how I've always been. I mean, I listen to advice on whether or not something might be good or might not be good, given on all the things that have gone before. I listen to people like Nerdrotic and so on and so forth, obviously, but
they're all loving it.
if I want to make sure for myself, I'll watch it myself. Things like Rings of Power, I was out before it even started because I just knew that this was not going to be good.
Yeah.
And She-Hulk, I mean, it's only from learning from all the past errors that have been made and all the horrible things that these studios have done to the fandoms and whatnot to know. I've been a Doctor Who fan, so this is where it all really started, along with Star Wars. And then I think with Game of Thrones, because there's only been one previous attempt at this, and it wasn't the same writers, it wasn't the same producers. And from the initial sort of responses, I thought, well, okay, I'll give it a while. And it's been a slow grower for me, but I'm glad I stuck with it. And I think as long as they keep doing what they're doing, and the performances alone are worth it, frankly.
Mhm.
And
Very good,
it's
very good.
miles head and shoulders above anything else currently on TV, I would say.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on.
Yes.
This was
still watching this.
mentioned. Okay, this was mentioned last week, so I thought I'll throw it in for the people who are
This
not
is
up to
so
speed.
grueling.
Who's watching this then? Who would like to go first? Movie?
Okay, so you're gonna love the opening of my She-Hulk video. I'll just say that. It might have some Dahmer clips in it. But no, I absolutely love this. Evan Peters is my male performance of the year. Probably overall, I've mentioned it before, but
There you go.
Mia Goth in the horror films X and Pearl. She's probably, if it wasn't a horror movie, Academy Award, possibilities. But he is incredible. I grew up watching horror, so I don't really get everyone's squeamishness over this.
It's not the horror aspect; it's the fact that it was real life. That's the thing that makes me. If this was just a horror thing that was just written and put out on the screen, no one needs to think any deeper of it. Fine, I don't think this would have been anywhere near as chilling. But the fact that this was based and apparently quite accurately done, that's the thing that makes me squirm.
That's
These are
totally
real
fair, but
people. Yeah.
I figured everyone's like desensitized at this point because we all watch serial killer stuff. But I mean, that's also fair. I don't know. Like I've been just as obsessed with it as everyone else. Maybe I'm crazy too because I've been watching. It made me go watch like his interviews, and Netflix capitalized on this by releasing a docu-series that actually chronicles like the recordings of him and his lawyer after he was caught. And I've been obsessively watching all that. I don't know. I'm just like captivated by all this, just like a lot of people are. Maybe we're all fucked in the head. I don't know.
You're gonna be like the fan that
We
sent
are.
him the request for a drawing.
Well, I can
I do
understand.
a mean Dahmer impression too.
I can understand why people like what Lee said about it. It is the first episode is very disturbing, not because that it has like
Horrific.
blood or anything like that. It's because of the fact that we know it's real, and the performances between this guy here and the black guy was absolutely amazing. You actually believed
Yeah.
everything that they were
Truly.
doing. You actually believed, and you were on the even though I knew
was
what
sat there,
happened.
white knuckles. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Get out, get out, get out. Get
Here you
out.
go, boys. Geralt. I really do like saying Geralt of trivia. Quicksilver gone dark side.
Yeah. No, definitely. So even though you knew what was, I knew what was going to happen because I'd read about it. So even
Right.
if you knew, I still wanted him to go out there and the bit where he sees the police because I read about that. I just just get out and find the police right now. So yeah, it's that kind of thing. It's not horror per se, as in jumps and blood, but it's that kind of.
I've just watched the episode with the blind. No,
Spoilers.
not the blind guy. The deaf guy. The deaf guy.
Yeah,
And it followed his story, and I all sat through that. You just know how it's going to end, and it's just like this beautiful guy who's got a loving family, and he's got these hopes and ambitions, and you're following his story, and you're breaking your heart from the fucking first frames of this thing because you know it's not going to end well. And that story alone was just so harrowing.
Here you go,
because it was-
guys. The uninspired reviewer, I binged it in a night.
I don't know how you could. I had to take breaks for days.
I binged it in 2 nights. I feel
I
that.
don't
Right
know.
on. I haven't seen it yet. Is the big reveal that his real name is Ralph Boner? I haven't watched it yet. My wife started it before me. That asshole.
Is that a dad joke?
No,
rude
because
dad
No,
joke.
it's a WandaVision joke.
in WandaVision,
Right,
his
okay.
name
Yeah,
he
yeah,
gets
yeah.
revealed
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Wanda.
Here you go, Uninspired again. By the way, Uninspired, you have a invite to come on here one week. It's the Palpatine eyes.
That's legitimate too, because I was watching in the documentary, because I'm a wacko watching all the documentaries, that he was obsessed with Return of the Jedi and he loved Palpatine's eyes. So he
What?
bought contacts to do that. That was a real thing he was doing. And I think too, like watching all the documentaries is it's interesting because people have been giving the show a bit of heat because you kind of can sympathize with him a little bit, especially nearing the end. But when you listen to him on tape, you can kind of sympathize with him too. So all they are really doing is like imitating how confused you would feel if you were to actually talk to him, like post conviction and everything.
Right
Well,
on.
everything has more nuance than just black and white.
Yeah.
I mean, even the most hardcore of these sort of killers, if you like, are people who are extremely damaged. And you do look at his mother, and you do wonder, did that have an effect? The chemicals she was putting into her body, her mental health as well could have been, I mean, was he on the spectrum? Was he psychopathic? I mean, what was it that it's a whole big, long philosophical question about the nature of evil. And
Well, nobody's born evil.
well, no, well, I don't know.
I do. Yeah, that's so. I see. I love that whole "is it nature versus nurture" whole thing. Like, was he born a psycho, or did he grow up to be a psycho because of the world that he lived in? It's a very interesting,
I don't know.
thing to go
The
about.
father was a very sympathetic character. He was very standoffish. I mean, he might have been a psychopath, but never acted on it because he did drop a few hints there. But like, he was like a typical father trying to, one that's a bit standoffish and doesn't quite know how to form a relationship with his son. And the son is obviously a bit different as well because he's not showing any normal sort of patterns of behavior. So when he does find something he enjoys doing, the roadkill, he's just like encouraging it because it's something he could connect with him on because it's
well, some people are just born with no remorse, aren't they? Some people are, Yeah, exactly. Very low on his count. So when he kills someone, he doesn't really think much of it, really.
And then he says he's really sorry to the victims' families and all this. And then when you see he gets a letter from a fan, he then sort of, plays up to it, thinking, actually, screw you guys. I've got fans now. People love me.
That's what's so weird about him was like he admitted multiple times that it wasn't the killing. He didn't want them to die. What he wanted was just them to never leave and have control over them. Right. So he's like, well, the only way to do that is to make them dead. He said killing them was the least satisfying part. He was obsessed with organs and I don't know.
He says that. But he says that though. But the thing is though, a lot of people lie for loads of different reasons, isn't it? I really don't know. But one thing is for sure, he was evil as far as I was concerned.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't do all that, and it's just like, well, he's confused.
Movie? Would you care to read a comment?
Sure. Says Galadriel wasn't born evil, but then the bullies sank her paper boat, and that was it.
The catalyst.
MC says Dahmer's mum was messed up, and his dad kept walking out on him because of his work.
Yeah,
he was like
it's
a
the
scientist
mother
of some kind.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody should be watching this. Are we agreed?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I took my time with it because after one or two episodes, it was so intense and so because I kept thinking about these are real people, right? That was first and foremost in my mind, and I think if you go in with that mindset, it's very hard to shake how utterly intense that really is, and for me that affects me more than just watching it as a drama on TV with actors and high production values. I'm just constantly thinking, Jesus, these were real people.
Yeah.
And the neighbor as well. I loved that actress. She did a phenomenal job as the next door neighbor who kept calling the police saying something really bad is happening, and she was ignored over and over and over.
She
again.
was, yeah, she was.
That was
Okay.
insane. And the cops who got off. Oh, geez, I just want to.
Shall we leave the last word to Melvin Deeply? Can someone be born evil? That's a big question. I'm not sure. You can be born without emotion. That's a neutral state. So why not an inch further to the left? Maybe it's possible.
Possibly.
Was a certain German dictator born evil?
Yeah,
might have been.
I mean, it's very hard. We obviously don't want to see children as being, evil. But if you remember when you were a kid at school, you could have sworn some of these kids were born evil.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll move on from that. So speaking of born evil, who watched? This was out this week, and I was genuinely looking forward to this.
week. I'm watching.
I went to the theater and saw it. Halloween is the first Halloween movie is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, regardless. And this was a pile of shit.
It was
Pile of shit.
Massively disappointing.
Was it? Did it have any of the feminine agenda shit?
No,
in it?
none of that.
Okay.
Nothing about that. It was just. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, although I wish I just could so that you guys will avoid it. But it's the worst out of all of them, and that's saying something because they've had some real stinkers.
Mm-hmm.
Even 3 Season of the Witch.
I just
Yeah, but
watched 3 before
that was
the
unconnected
stream.
though. That was unconnected though.
I just watched Halloween 3 before the stream. That's so funny.
Watched that recently. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, legitimately, this might be the worst out of all of them. And I really liked the 2018 one.
So did I.
Yeah, and when they said they were going to do a trilogy, I was so excited because I was like, oh, cool, Michael's back.
I even liked the one afterwards.
I did too. It had some corny parts, but Michael's rampage really made up for it. And then this one, I went and saw it. First of all, it was like a terrible evening because I decided to go see it in 40X, which I had never done.
Oh yeah.
What a gimmick! I was thinking, I'm like the seat's rocking, and I'm like, I want to drink my soda, not wear it. And then the movie was atrocious to the point where I'm like, these two things mixed together. I really contemplated getting up and walking out in the middle. It was that bad by the middle of the movie.
But you don't 4DX is not good for a movie like this. 4DX is good for like a sci-fi movie or something, or like Fast and Furious.
I saw Top Gun Maverick in 4DX.
Oh,
okay. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was the best.
Because
but you can't shake the chair when he stabs someone, do you know?
That's what it was. It was like when it was jump scares is when it shook.
You want it shaking as a sex scene. That's what you want.
I had no idea what to expect, and first of all, it pissed me off more because there were legitimately a half hour of previews before the movie started.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what to expect with this 40X circumstance. And they showed like a couple superhero movie trailers. And that's like my girlfriend and I looked at each other and were like, is this what it's going to be like? This is awful. I was like trying to eat popcorn and it was just like flying out.
You can turn the intensity of the chairs down. You know that.
Yeah, you can turn off the.
I had no idea.
Water stuff. Yeah, you can. Yeah, so you can turn it off if you want.
I'm just sitting there getting thrown around.
Full power.
But you know what? When I went to see Rogue One, when the ship landed, right, all smoke came out the screen. At the bottom of the screen, so there was like you could. So when the smoke reached you, you couldn't see the screen. You had to kind of try and clear it away so you can see the screen. It was a bit ridiculous, but it was a lot of fun watching sci-fi things like that. Yeah.
Catty, have you seen this one?
I did. I watched it. Me and my sister do a podcast, and we watched it for our episode that comes out tomorrow.
Nice.
It sucked. It is a pile of shit. It should have been Halloween, the memoirs of Laurie Strode, because it's just a lot of bad voiceovers, and it was so bad. And I don't want to. I'm like movie critic. I don't want to give away some stuff, but it just was really bad. It shouldn't have been called Halloween at all.
No.
It was just bad.
There was 2 stories going on, and one story, no. But the
Yeah.
Michael Myers stuff, yes.
Which I'll say this, and I don't know if it's really spoiling anything. Michael Myers doesn't show up until 50 minutes into this movie. And I'm all like, I'm all like, I'm not joking. And the whole time, I'm all like, I literally was like, did I pick the wrong movie and everything? And I paused it, went back to the home screen, and then I went back to Peacock, and I'm all like, I did pick the right movie. I'm like, I was like, is Michael not in this movie? And it's just so bad. It's just the worst.
Disappointing.
Well, I'll be watching this on Wednesdays, so pray
You should go and see Smile instead. Smile was a
Yeah.
better horror film. Smile's a better horror film.
Right on.
What might suck the most too was just the character motivations don't make any sense based on what previously happened. It's like, why would Laurie be in this position after what happened with Halloween Kills? How they had set it up was she was, vindictive. She had a vendetta against him, and you don't think that she would after he kills her daughter. But instead, she goes, "Oh yeah, he disappeared, so I moved on." No, she wouldn't. No, she would not.
Oh, what a cop out! Oh my goodness!
It truly, and then storytelling. The writers were like, "No, I want this to happen now." Well, there's no way she would have done that. Well, you know what's cool? I can write whatever the fuck I want, actually. So,
yeah, it's it was really not.
I'm not really into horror films, but when there was one of the newer Halloween films that came out with Michael Myers, 2018.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was good.
I went out of my way to watch them because I want to see Michael Myers doing what Michael Myers does. And
as far as I'm concerned, it finished at 2.
I've got a soft spot for the original.
Yeah,
Halloween.
I love the original. First time
number 2.
Even though Laurie drops the fucking knife twice after she stabbed him and fucked off and leaving the knife out, I could have slapped her.
Okay.
So my friend Jack reckons it's the 1978 Halloween, the H2, and H20.
H20 was so good.
Is that the one with Busta Rhymes?
No, that's Resurrection. The one with H2O is the one with LL Cool J, actually.
Oh, wow.
I'm not gonna lie, the one with Busta Rhymes, I love that one. It's so ridiculous that I just love it.
This Resurrection is so bad.
So would you agree that that is the true trilogy?
Yeah, 1, 2, and H2O, I would say, is like a perfect trilogy. And I just want to point out too, MC says that Laurie explains why she did it. She sure does, because you can always explain why you want to do something. It doesn't mean it makes any fucking sense.
Yeah, I kept in my notes for this movie, I just kept writing down, what am I watching? It was so weird. It was just not good. I wish I
it just finished with a whimper.
It means it'll be back eventually, then, doesn't it?
I don't know. It just peaked. Shit script. They should have done something better.
I read recently that they had plans years, I think in the 90s, to do Michael Myers versus Hellraiser.
I'm so glad they didn't do that. Because Freddy versus Jason was huge.
Because I wanted to keep him grounded and not sort of in this magical realm, even though Michael seems to have some sort of demonic quality where he doesn't seem to die. So I don't know.
Yeah, invincible. Yeah,
okay. Which is something I like about him, but
it's just far-fetched, but it's good far-fetched. Okay. Yeah. Been a few deaths. We're doing the news now. There's been a few deaths this week. Angela Lansbury was the first one.
Yeah, I love her.
Her of what was the program called again? Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, I love Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Hopes. Yeah, that one.
I'm assuming we all watched it. I think I did.
I did.
It was decent TV. Yeah.
Yeah, she was great.
I used to resent it because it was just like it was just not something I was into, but it was always on telly. But she was always great, you can't take that away from her. She's had a good innings. She's been around.
All the old pensioners used to watch it, didn't they? I mean, my mum always watches the show on TV.
Me as well.
Yeah.
My mum loves it.
Yeah, I love Murder, She Wrote.
She's one of the old guard, you know, one of the old school.
I also
film
loved her in
stars.
Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Yeah, she was in that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was great. She was so good.
Mrs. Potts as well. The voice
Yeah,
of Mrs. Potts.
yeah, love
back
it.
when Disney was Disney.
MC, natural causes, she wrote.
Wow.
Enjoying a cup of tea. Enjoying a cuppa with Betty White. I hope. Yes.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
She was good though.
Lansbury's a bit more classy than Betty.
She is actually. She is. She never. Yeah, she never. Oh, I don't know. She's just such a good actress, and also the fact that she's British as well. So that's cool, I guess.
Yes.
She was doing something with James Earl Jones. Did somebody say? But
Yeah,
that's off now.
yeah, Mrs. What is it?
Driving
Miss Daisy. That's the one.
Here you go, folks. Melvin Deeply, Murder, She Wrote, 264 episodes. Wow.
And they did a crossover. They did a crossover with Magnum PI. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool episode, actually.
I think Tim says, yeah, much loved by all. Agreed. TV that was written well.
Imagine that.
It was TV that was enjoyable. It was like a comfortable glove for a lot of people, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like my mum would sit and watch this, the A-Team and Texas Walker. You know, those are comfortable shows, aren't they? They know what they're going to get when they're watching it, and they get what they get. That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go.
Okay, so from Angela Lansbury. This was the big one over in Blighty, wasn't it?
Cracker.
Robbie Coltrane, yeah.
Yeah. There's no Hogwarts without you, Hagrid.
Well, a lot of people think about, Harry Potter when they see him, but I always think of Cracker when I see him, because Cracker was one of the first.
Because he's white. Oh,
well, it was one of the first police shows to have a specialist connected with the police force, and it was because of Cracker all those American shows came out, like The Mentalist and House, and all this stuff because of Cracker. But nobody seems to realize that, or nobody mentions it. So Cracker was the show that actually
Cracker was fantastic.
Yeah,
he was a comedy actor before that, wasn't he?
He was.
Blackadder. Yeah, he was on Blackadder.
Hugh and Laurie.
Was he on the Kick Up the 80s in the UK? Was it?
I don't know.
Kick Up the 80s. Do you remember that?
Nope.
That's going back.
Yeah. Well, I'm American, so
you remember him as Harry Potter, probably.
In Harry Potter, yeah. I'm a huge Potterhead, so of course I do.
Well, I had the American version of Cracker, and they had, I can't remember who played in the American version, but in our version, he used to drink a lot and gamble a lot. In the American version, he wasn't allowed to drink a lot. He wasn't even allowed to smoke, because I remember Fitz used to smoke a lot, didn't he? So that's what I'm saying. So the Americans copied it, but they couldn't do it as raw as the original show.
Franco, Robbie, a great loss. Yes. Melvin Deeply. Robbie Coltrane was born in Rutteglen, the town where I spent my teenage years. Wow.
He was in Flash Gordon.
He was? No, was he?
And Kroll, apparently.
Was he in Flash Gordon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Did not know that.
Young Ones, of course.
Yeah, Young Ones. How old was he? Was he 72?
Yeah, it's quite young.
Yeah,
really. I mean, his weight ballooned, so I imagine that had some impact on his health. But I suppose it's very difficult to lose all that weight, and
but he was as far as I was concerned, he was a brilliant actor.
Yeah,
brilliant actor. Yeah. Exactly what he was doing.
Okay,
and James Bond, he was a villain in that.
Oh yes, was that GoldenEye?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so rest in peace, Robbie. Okay, so this is where we get serious, folks.
Oh, now it's where we get serious.
Yeah.
Did anybody see this?
Oh, I did. What assholes.
Data Racer.
Yeah, I did.
So, these people get impunity, can say whatever the hell they like because they're on the woke side of history. And I get cancelled off of Twitter by Twitter for daring to say that homosexual men do not have sex with vaginas. Apparently, that's a step too far. Apparently, but these fuckers can make death wishes and death threats against people, and then they get away with it. It's absolutely, this is corporate malfeasance at this point.
For the people at home, probably, what exactly is this about? Because this was literally hours after Robbie Coltrane.
Well, everyone knows
died.
J.K. Rowling is an advocate for women's rights, women's spaces, women's
women, basically,
having the
for
right
women.
to
Yeah.
the name woman, you know, from
Yeah.
these radicalized elements in the trans so-called community. And he supported her. He stood by her, unlike some of the other cast members of Harry Potter and there, who threw her under the bus, even though she made their careers.
Made them millions. Yeah,
he stood by her. So, of course, by simply doing that, he became posthumously the target of the ire of these idiots
scumbags
who spend their life on Twitter harassing people and wishing people dead and all sorts of vile, disgusting slurs and all sorts. Yeah, go to hell.
But you know what's really weird about it is that, you know, the girl who played Hermione and they all basically turned their backs on.
She called her a witch.
J-Ro, yeah. And now they're all coming out and going, "Oh yeah, Robbie Coltrane was a friend of mine, and you know he'll be missed and all that crap." It's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous.
In the chat, Tim Hannabom, MC, you are on fire tonight. I think MC's. Here we go. Look, here you go. MC, women. I remember them.
Yeah, they're not like they used to be, are they?
No.
Yes.
There are still some good women out there, though. There are still some
absolutely
really great women.
Yes,
out there.
they're quite lovely.
J.K. Rowling is one of them.
Yep, she is.
I mean, I don't agree with her politics on a lot of things, but you know, on this, absolutely, she's right, and she's been getting death threats and grape threats and all manner of things, and it's just like I just can't understand the mentality behind all this. It's just
keyboard warriors
off the rails. It really is. It's disgusting.
Anyway, okay. We'll move on. So more JK. Did you read this, Probby? There's been a bit of a spat between Billy Bragg and JK.
Billy Bragg's a bit of an insufferable prick, and he always has been. But you know, he's been like Owen Insufferable Prick Jones. These sort of Marxist try hard blowhards, and you know they're all these guys saying that, you know, men can be women and, you know, women suck it up basically. And she's right, you know, he's a hypocrite. You know, he's saying, oh, you know, you can't say things about me and, you know, apologize to me kind of thing. Just the entitlement of this shitbag. And then, you know, defending people who are sending her death threats effectively or staying silent. It's just like the lack of self-awareness of these so-called celebrities sometimes is breathtaking. But, you know, again, when you deny cancel culture exists and then call it accountability, and she's right, you know, do you believe threats of rape and murder are acceptable accountability? Is it? I mean, really, in this so-called civilized society, is this where we're at? And of course, you know, Billy Bragg will probably gaslight her to fuck by, oh, you know, you're bringing this on yourself or something. I don't know, whatever. These people, just shut up, do your creative shit and fuck off. You know, no one's interested in your political views anymore. You've demystified yourselves, and maybe that's a good thing. Look, so I can now say I'm not buying your shit.
In the chat, Romeo Tango November Zulu, Billy Bragg hasn't been relevant since the Berlin Wall fell.
Oh, he probably thinks he helped bring it down, you know.
Yeah.
That's how arrogant these people are.
And in the chat, movie, care to read this? If you're still there.
I am. It says, Is this the same show? I went to get a drink, and now we were talking about genitals, and also genitals.
Okay, so we will move on.
Different show.
Yeah.
Yeah, different show.
And last bit of JK. Somebody tweeted, "How do you sleep at night knowing you've lost a whole audience from buying your books?" And then JK said, "I read my most recent royalty check, and I find the pain goes away quite quickly." That is a good fucking put down. Is that?
You own that person. Nice.
I want to marry her. She's lovely.
JK,
Yeah.
we need you to come on here, JK. We love you.
Yeah, and I have to say, as a Harry Potter fan, I don't align with J.K. Rowling most of the time. But I'll tell you right now, I separate art from artist. Nothing J.K. Rowling says could make me not buy a new version of that book. They put a new cover on any of those books, and I'm buying the whole box set. So I mean, it's just so like some people, they're just like, well, I'm just gonna buy them off eBay, and I'm all like, okay, if you want old shit, that's cool, but I want this really cool new one because the cover looks cool. But
Well, I was on Twitter. I was on Twitter before I got banned. It was not long before I got banned when I posted a picture of me as a film extra on the film. That's a screenshot of the film.
Nice
On
plug.
platform 9 3/4. I said, "This film extra supports you," and she followed me back, and it was from that moment on I didn't have a moment's peace because they all came after me, and that went viral for a little bit. And then I was targeted at that point, and it was about 2 months after that I was summarily banned off of Twitter for simply stating the obvious. And that was it. Yeah.
It is mob mentality, isn't it?
It really is. It's fascism. And I'll tell you why it's fascism, because they have the protection of the state, they have the protection of these corporations, and once you have a minority in power, like they are in power because they willed it, and they have the support of the state and they have the support of corporations, they themselves are this absolute definition of fascism, because that's pretty much what it is. It's a sort of corporation, if you like, of bodies of people who band together for strength, intersectionalism, and with the marriage of state power and corporate power and influence that way, that is really very, 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 very close to the absolute definition of fascist statehood. And they willed it, and they know it. But they, of course, do what they always do, project onto other people and call everyone else a fascist. But, they lack any self-awareness. And I just think they don't care. They're that crazed.
Ego, Melvin Deeply tried to debate an idiot about JKR in Platoon's comments a few weeks ago. They wanted to debate, and I foolishly agreed. First word out of their mouth was an insult. You cannot talk to these.
They have no intellectual heft. They always rely on slurs,
insults.
Insults.
Yeah.
They're absolutely. They are possessed by this ideology. Absolutely possessed. They don't think about it. It's consumerism in a way. A consumerist new religion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Going real quick back to She-Hulk, people, all people know how to do is do personal insults and personal attacks. And I just go, if you're going to personally attack me and not defend this show that you love so much, then you have no argument and you've automatically lost. And I'm not interested in fighting with you. So I came
out against Jodie Whittaker's Doctor after 5 episodes of giving it a fair shot. And I criticized, I wasn't even swearing or saying anything particularly derogatory, but I came out and criticized it on Facebook when I used Facebook, and I was in all the Doctor Who groups and things on there. And as soon as I said that, I was set upon by several people wishing me to die of cancer.
Fucking.
And one of them was the actual mod of the group, who ran the group, who then summarily had me ousted out of the group, so I was blocked from the group, and then chased me into my DMs wishing me dead. That's how insane this all is. And that was, obviously early on, and that's how I found Gary and Bowles Trek and all those people, because it was like, what the fuck? I just felt completely isolated and alienated from this thing I'd loved for 40 years, and these people are just came in, colonized it, because we all know they love talking about colonialism. Well, they are the colonizers, like everything else, projection. And here we are, still talking about it 5 years on. And I think we are turning that tide. I think that, it's become absolutely obvious, with anyone with eyes and an ounce of grey matter, that this is a problem. So there we are.
Okay, well, we definitely need people like JK, don't we? Because in a nutshell, all she's saying is that she's just saying common sense.
Mm-hmm. She's protecting and safeguarding women, vulnerable women who are being coerced into, having their breasts removed and
sterilized and all this stuff.
Grape shelters being impacted by self-identifying trans women who could be, with their genitals intact, who could be a problem. Men in women's prisons, that kind of thing. And it's she's a very important voice because she has that clout. And even though I don't necessarily agree with her on absolutely everything else, like her stance on Brexit or Europe or Scotland or whatever, this is a fundamental issue. It needs tackling. It's affecting and impacting everything. Even the LGB are out on this because they're now saying we don't want anything to do with it. And gays and lesbians as well as straight people are being demonized and vilified by this element, the TQ plus, or the Rainbow Reich, as I call them. And it's become a problem, and it really does mean that people need to really sort of come around on this topic, and it does unite people from all across the spectrum of political beliefs and moral beliefs, or whatever, religious beliefs in some cases, and non-religious beliefs in others. And it's so fundamentally off. It's just off. Okay, I mean, when you involve children with sterilization and surgeries and ideology, I mean, I didn't realize to be a specific gender or a specific sexuality that it comes pre-packaged with a neo-Marxist postmodern religion. How does that work?
It's just mind-blowing. Anyway,
it is. It really is. Anyway,
let's move on. That was very, very deep. Did anybody see this today? This is to the
they're back.
Yes.
These
idiots. Get a job and fuck off.
Yeah, two of them threw tomato soup on the sunflower painting the other day, and this fucker today was down Hyde Park in London.
Is it a guy?
It was a guy, yes. He was wearing a kind of like a bra slip type thing on a skirt.
Okay.
And
so it's a guy who thinks he's not a guy, basically.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I don't. Go ahead.
How is this winning your cause? How is this gonna make people come to your side by being like this?
Right.
On all levels.
Did he get arrested?
Don't know. Don't know. This was a video that somebody posted, and people were just shouting abuse at him, saying "you fucking wanker" and all that stuff, just telling him to fuck off, and he's just there giving it his shite.
Honestly, I mean,
I don't understand all this.
They want to be lynched. They want so they can cry foul. They are provoking and provoking and provoking, and unfortunately, I call there's a name for this now called eco-anxiety, right? The things are abound when you have names like this. There are kids as young as 7 or 8 who are taking their own lives because they're scared the planet's dying, and this kind of stuff adds to that. And I find this incredibly deceitful, and again, corporations and state backing this kind of behavior.
I think Swap Shop said these are the foot. This guy's the foot soldier of the World Economic Forum, and what they want us to do. They all want us to be poor.
Yeah, you'll have nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's so ridiculous. I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't stand for this. I would have threw stuff at him. I've had enough of this nonsense. I don't know how it goes in your guys' country, because, but here, if you like, I would just throw like a cup of water in his face or some shit like that. I've had enough of this nonsense. I am not interested in this.
18 months in prison for him.
And for him,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, but he'll end up in a woman's prison. You do know that, don't you?
In Scotland, yes, I know. Okay, right. Okay, we'll move on from this. American news. Alex Jones. Who saw this week?
I did.
That's rough.
I don't think. Didn't he say he doesn't have this money? There's no way he's going to be able to pay this money. And
this is a precedent against anyone who speaks. I mean, I don't agree with what he
said. Yeah,
right.
But having said that, the way that they've gone after him, this could happen to just about anyone who criticizes it. This can set a dangerous precedent where they can fiscally bankrupt you for life.
Yeah, and didn't they already go after him and win a settlement of some sort?
50, I think it was was it 40, 50 million already?
Was that not enough?
There's a third one coming up too.
Is that not enough money for your grief? Like, I mean, I don't understand. He did apologize many times and said he was wrong. And
he's like a few $100 million to replace your dead child. I mean, really?
Well, and plus, I just go like, listen, he's not going to be able to pay the $1 billion that he's now lost or whatever.
Franco says, I saw this on the news. He's filed for bankruptcy, so he won't have to pay.
Oh, well, I guess there's that. Good old bankruptcy.
It's all fucked, isn't it?
Yeah. I think, as we said on a previous stream, he should have just kept his gob shut at the time.
Yeah. I mean, there are some certain things that he could say, and people would just be like, "Oh, like there's lizard people and stuff." I mean, people would just be like, "You're a wackadoo." But I mean, like, stuff like that, especially with children, you can't fuck around with that.
The guy's old enough and stupid enough to know to keep his gob shut. So
yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Oh yeah.
There you go, Ian. This one's for you. Snow White.
Dear,
I am very curious to see what the story is now. I'm not gonna lie.
Apparently, is she a woman of color, by the way?
Yes,
she is.
Apparently, a prince isn't going to save the day. Apparently,
of course.
She's very light though, light skinned.
Yeah,
racist. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what statement they're making there, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't understand if the prince doesn't save her, then she doesn't wake up from her poison-induced coma.
Princess.
No, she'll have worked out and saved herself somehow.
Well, yeah, I don't see how this is gonna work. It's very odd. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm interested to see what they do. I'm not gonna go see it. I'll tell you that. But I am interested to see what they do to do whatever it is they're doing here. What she's talking about.
In the chats, Addy Mouse. Oh fuck me, more shite.
I mean, when the whole set burns down in a fire, you think that's a good sign telling you don't do this film.
Right, Geralt. I really do like saying Geralt. Make it stop.
I know, right?
Yeah, and we'll say that again. Oh, fuck me, more shite.
Well, she's a pretty girl.
She is,
yeah.
And she's a lovely singer. She was in that new West Side Story, and she was a lovely singer. But Snow
White, Snow White.
Yeah, a lot of people complained about it when it happened.
It's supposed to be German medieval folklore. Come on, stop colonizing European folklore for fuck's sake.
Movie? You're into your movies.
White people in the sky.
I like movies.
In the Anansi stories, would you?
This is my first time seeing this, and Yeah. What am I supposed to say? I'm surprised.
Does it make you
that
more
she's-
cynical?
I think it's making me ambivalent. I don't know. Like I'm bringing a
Yeah,
modern edge
ambivalent
to
film.
Disney's live action Snow White. I'm sure you are. I'm sure. Of course you
Yeah.
are. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and there was that big hullabaloo about little people and the dwarves and everything with Peter Dinklage, and they were like, "Oh, they're going to be magical creatures," and I'm all like, "Aren't dwarves magical creatures anyways?" It's very interesting what they're going to do with this movie, but it's
Do you
just going to be
know,
a hot mess.
Keira Knightley won't let her daughter watch any Disney film where they get rescued by a prince. She actually said that in an interview.
That's so weird. My daughter
Fuck
loves these
me.
movies. My daughter loves Snow White. It's a good film. I don't understand why everybody's so obsessed with like not letting a man save a woman. It's not like it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I know.
Men build the world.
I predicted
don't
who
they?
was going to be the villain in the last like 2 or 3 movies I watched,
Mm.
specifically because there was a white guy, and I was like, "Oh, he's the villain. Obviously, he's the only
Right
white
on.
guy here." So,
But have you noticed that they're
Oh.
taking all the women in Disney films that were villains and then turning them into good people?
Yeah, which I hate
Like
that.
Maleficent. Oh,
Yeah, I like my bad guys bad. Just make them bad.
you know,
Uh,
this harkens back to what we were saying earlier about whether it's genetic or rate if you're raised, nature versus nurture. And I think by denying girls their nature,
And men.
I mean, my niece was, obsessed with Frozen, and they gravitate towards those things. Some girls gravitate towards boys' things as well, but generally that's a sort of phase they go through, and then because they're scared of being a girl, and then they get older, and then they realize that actually they like boys, and then they like feminine things. That's quite often how things evolve.
Yeah.
Parents actively manipulating the situation so they're not exposed to things that they don't want them to see because patriarchy. I think it's just so delusional, and it's denying sort of a certain element of magic that girls, I think, particularly are more attracted to.
Well, it's proven
I
that
agree.
most people want to see male heroes on screen. If you just look at Top Gun Maverick, that was a huge success compared to all the crap that Disney was putting out and Marvel was putting out with female leads. And do you know what? Right, I was
Mostly the hero
watching the
male.
cinema. I was looking at the cinema today, and usually when a film gets released in, say, Cineworld, they usually have it on 6 screens or 4 screens. What's that stupid film that's just come out with the black people and they're all Power Woman or something like that? The group of Africans that took on the
the
Woman
slave
King.
thing.
Woman King.
slave,
Woman King.
yeah,
Woman
King. Do you know how many screens that's in on a
No.
huge
All of
multiplex?
all of them.
One screen, one
Mm.
screen. So
Wow.
so that's what I'm saying. The cinemas know that these films are not going to do any good for them. So they don't plaster it on 6 different screens, because that's a huge Hollywood movie, that one is. And they've just put it on one screen because they know now, because the cinemas are really suffering at the moment. And it's
They
not
are.
because we're not going to see the films. Yes, that has something to do with it. It's because Hollywood is putting out stuff that people
Don't want to
really
see.
don't want to see.
I know.
Yeah, and I agree to that. I do want to see that movie, but I don't want to go to the theater to see it. I'll wait till it comes out on streaming.
So
for
you
free.
can do a YouTube thing on it. Is that why you're going to watch it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I do want to see that. I do love
Easy.
Viola Davis. She's great. I want to just real quick comment on Lee's comment earlier with the little girls being attracted to these Disney princess stories. I couldn't agree more. I have a boy and a girl, and they are so the gender norms, if you will. My daughter loves pink and anything princesses, and my son loves dinosaurs and cars. And they both watch their own shows. Like today, yesterday, we watched this show called Glitter Force. It was like an anime show, but it was very, female centric. And my son, the whole time, he's like, "Is it my turn to pick the show now?" And my daughter was loving the shit out of it. So it's not like they get subjected to their own things, and my son is just not interested in it if it's very female centric. So I totally agree with what Lee was saying. Like,
It's not only that, it's the fact that they try and feminize male dominated IPs, like Doctor Who, Star Wars, all these things, which were really sort of aimed at 10-year-old intelligent and 10-year-old boys, but it's universally loved because it's of that sort of it's aimed at that group. But you know, if you love it, you love it, but you love it because of that, not because it's not.
Well, the
You know,
Star Wars, Indiana
let's
Jones,
feminise it.
and all these franchise being raped. By the way, they all boys own stuff. Indiana Jones is a boys own stuff. Star Wars, and even Doctor Who, and that's what they're doing. They're taking the masculinity of heroes and they actually stamping them all over them. They stamping over them, and that's exactly what they're doing. So don't be too surprised if the next James Bond film is going to be trans. He's going to be trans or something, or or something else. He's going to be, don't be too surprised because that's what they're doing.
Hi, I'm Bond, James Bond. My pronouns are he, him.
Yeah.
They, them.
Okay, so we'll move
you
on.
got your results in from your poll, by the way, then, Mr. Ryan.
Yes. Where did I put the results? Bear with me. Here we go. She-Hulk 60%, Rob 39%. So She-Hulk worst TV.
It was worse.
Mm.
And look, here it is.
Speak of the devil. This is what Chatto's rant was yesterday.
That was a fantastic rant. So good.
It was good.
I really enjoyed that.
See, they wasted all that money just to say F you to toxic Marvel trolls. And I go, that's such a waste of money. It's such a waste.
Do you know what we need, right? And it's been said time and time again. We need a film that takes the piss out of the left. Like a Naked Gun or something like that.
It won't get made. Not this day and age.
Who knows? Independent film, maybe.
Ben Shapiro might make it.
I hope so.
I
hope so.
I mean, Matt Walsh's What Is a Woman was pretty good.
It was good.
It was good.
It was very good.
But the point of what they're doing is to do films that don't have a slant towards any sort of political side. They just want to do entertainment. I think that's so important because it's the radical left elements have made everything uber political. And I think because people are so fed up with it, they don't want to see a flip the other way. They just want to not have left or right politics. I just want a good story and fun and entertainment and to escape all the politics, because it's just, we don't want to be reminded how shit things are all the time. Thank you very much.
In the old days, right, they did two things. They did Ironside, he was black, and then they did Kojak, he was black. They rebrought the back. And in that what was it? I think it was the 80s.
Ironside
late
was
80s.
disabled.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he was black in the when they brought it back. But I didn't mind that. Yeah, I didn't mind that at all. It didn't even occur to me. But now, because it's so prevalent and they're doing it deliberately, that this is why I don't like it. I don't believe in race swapping at all, and I don't believe in the other swapping.
Here you go, folks. Top modding from Melvin. Call me Chatto. Link to the video that we're talking about, which specifically he goes through this because it's just 8 minutes of.
It's fire. It's pure fire.
It is a good video. It's very good.
And I will say, Paul, if you want to come back on here, definitely we'll get you back on. So definitely watch that video. It was a doozy, folks.
Yeah, it was. It was very good.
Really good.
Okay, let's see what's next. Speaking of doozies, all the dates are kind of getting moved back a little bit, especially Blade.
Yeah.
2026. Look at that
movie. What do you think about this? Blade getting moved back. Everything's getting moved back.
Not watching any of them anyway.
Yeah, we're going to be watching any of them.
Out.
I will.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
And like
them.
I said, I'll probably watch them in bad faith too. But no, I think
Deadpool for me.
I understand. So at least I know that Blade is going to be an active part of the probably Secret Wars and stuff, which is cool because I really like Blade. Otherwise, they wouldn't have pushed everything back to accommodate it. But it's going to give them more room to possibly make Avengers Secret Wars great. I was really worried about the fact that it was just 6 to 8 months apart from the whatever Kang Dynasty. And my hope is that Doctor Doom comes in and saves the MCU as far as a charismatic, really intriguing character. Who knows? But I know if they're doing the Marvel Now stuff from the comic books from the mid 2010s era, then that means the Secret Wars is probably going to be the one where Doctor Doom is a primary Like
Yeah.
he's the primary figure in that movie. So
But wasn't
I mean,
Iron Man the primary figure in that comic as well?
in the like 2015 Secret Wars?
Wasn't Iron Man in that?
No, it was very much Reed Richards and
Yeah.
Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom were like
See,
three
Secret
big
Wars
figures
I knew is one that I grew up with
in the 80s.
That's how you had Spider-Man,
with the
Black
Beyonder,
wasn't it? With the
Beyonder, and he brings them all to the planet and stuff.
yeah.
But the Iron Man one, the Iron Heart thing with the girl, that story, Iron Man was in it. It wasn't Riri, whatever her name is. Iron Man was in that comic, wasn't he?
I'm trying to remember. Like the Riri Williams comic book?
No, the secret was it? I can't remember what it was called, but there's one that they're doing now, and Iron Man was the main character in it. They've replaced him.
Civil
with...
War? Like he was the primary in both Civil War events. They did a Civil War too, which was awesome.
And there is Secret Invasion. I don't remember if he's. I'd have to go back and read those.
Here you go. MC Secret Wars had Spider-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man.
Iron Man, yeah. And the thing is, Captain America is old. Iron Man is dead. So what they're going to replace him with female characters, aren't they? Again.
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
Spidey will definitely be in it just because, like, back when they announced they were doing the third Spider-Man movie, he was also signed on for at least one more team up movie with the MCU. So he'll be in it. I wonder if Hugh Jackman will be in it as Old Man Logan, because that's what they did with in the 2010s Secret Wars. They had Old Man Logan in there.
But he died.
If we're gonna have Avengers with the new female leads in it, is that gonna make it Victoria Secret Wars?
No, it's not. That's too feminine for them to have.
That's right. True.
Yeah, no, I think that this. Well, first off, I think that Blade getting pushed back was a good idea, only because it sounds like the movie was terrible. Just by it was only a 90-page script from what I've been reading, and Mahershala Ali did not like the stuff that was there. Apparently, there was only 2 fight sequences in the whole movie, and then Bassam Tariq, the director, before he got fired / left. I guess he wanted to do some stuff with the character that Mahershala Ali did not like. And so he kind of pulled his weight with that. And
just get someone to direct it, someone that's got talent.
Do you know anybody?
Yeah, me. Don't get someone because of their color or because they're black or anything like that. Just get someone who's right for the job, no matter what color they are, no matter what sex they are.
Well,
This is what they used to do in the old days, right?
And Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, and also Armor Wars, they turned into a movie now instead of a TV show, and I think that they did that because they knew they were going to have to push Blade back, so they needed a movie to take its spot. So they were like, listen, we have this script, we can tighten it up into a movie instead of being a TV show, so that's what we're going to do. And then I also think that they made that Deadpool 3 announcement with Wolverine being in it because they needed some more positive press.
Some leverage, yes.
Yeah, because they knew that this stuff was coming down the pipeline.
Oh, yeah. I felt
Some
it
men, yes.
as a panic button moment when they announced that. And I was saying when we talked about it too, I'm like, yeah, it was a panic button moment, but they got me. Like, I'm excited.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, yeah.
Just dump everything and do the Fantastic Four movie. You morons. Fantastic Four is the last true Marvel characters left in the MCU.
I think they're scared they're not going to get it right.
I don't think they're going to get it right.
They
Well, they
can't
probably
get
won't.
if they have the agenda. Mr. Fantastic is going to be black. Johnny Storm is going to be grey. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
but everybody, the reason why they're not doing it, as I said before, everybody knows the Fantastic Four is true Americano. You got Reed Richards. You got Johnny Storm is blue-eyed and blonde. So is Sue Richards. And fantastic, and what's his name? The Thing is fantastic. Obviously, he's American as well, and he's white. They're all white. See, this is the reason why they're
problematic. Problematic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Movie, care to read a comment?
Sure. I've been reading you this entire time. Jessica Gao is free now to take over Blade.
Oh God.
MC, apparently Deadpool 3 has been delayed now. 2.
Oh wow.
Great,
Cool.
perfect.
Already. Wow.
It was only
Fantastic
pushed back like
Four.
2 months though, right? Because
Drop everything.
The only thing out of any of those I would give a chance to watch.
Drop everything. Do the Fantastic Four. Get a real shit hot actress with blonde hair to play Sue Storm. Fuck, it's not rocket science. Just fucking do it. What is wrong with you
twat.
people? Yeah, seriously.
Okay, let's
Not
move.
allowed.
Yeah, problematic, Ian.
Oh God.
Screen
Right.
Grant. Oh God, these people. Oh, $10 of bloody thing. that they
Schiller's Extraordinaire, Rings of Power,
Unreal.
Season 2 will tell a more canonical story according to the...
It's too late. It's too late.
Why are they saying that now?
They've busted the canon. You can't fix it when you've broken it to that point where everything's time jumped all over the place and characters that shouldn't be there are there, and it's a mess. You can't undo that unless you
see it.
Yeah.
The season, and you have to get rid of the writers.
Yeah.
The showrunners. You have to get rid of the showrunners.
Yeah, absolutely. Burn Scorched Earth, start again.
Yeah, and Nerdrotic has said it before. Anybody involved in Bad Robot, you need to get rid of them like right away. Because if they've been touched by J.J. Abrams, it means they're a hack, and they're just going to take from something else, and they're just going to rewrite it, but it's just going to be the same thing. And yeah, it's bad. And like I said before, if you care about anything canonical, and it's mentioned this tweet, there's no way you can like this show. It's just there's no way.
Is anybody going to give this a second chance?
No.
Too late, isn't it?
I'll watch it. I'm not going to give it a chance. Not at all.
Of course you're going to watch it, man.
I'll probably watch it too.
You know how much money those videos make? Of course I'm going to watch it.
That's very true. If you make money off it, you're like, all right, I'll do it anyway.
Good for you, mate. Good for you. Okay, so Too Little Too Late. They've had the chance. Fuck them.
You've had your chance. You're
anybody see this?
Yeah.
Yes. I think everybody has seen this.
So
I mean, they've how this organization, this company, right, who already have been prosecuted and indicted. These people should be in jail, not making vaccines. They've already been found to be culpable for a whole shit ton of things.
This was from a Dutch MEP who he wanted to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us something we don't know. I've never had the jab, and I never will.
No, good for you, mate.
Everyone I know who's had it has had COVID. I've not had COVID once.
Yeah,
that's because you don't go out. Problem. You don't go out anywhere. You don't go anywhere.
Shopping. I do things like that. Maybe
Sorry.
No,
I got the vaccine, and I regret it. There was no need for it.
Same here.
They lied. And I wish I wouldn't have gotten it because there was no need, at all.
I think with me, unfortunately, I didn't have a choice because I lived with an elderly person.
Right on.
So there was an ethical issue, but I stopped at 2. I'm not having any more.
Yeah, and I know people that are still getting boosters, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, my father's been offered his 5th jab.
Yeah,
it's never going to end.
I told him to get stuffed.
It's piling up in your body, and you can't get rid of it. The more you put that shit into your body, the more and more it builds up and builds up. And I've heard stuff where, I mean, I'm not saying this is fact because obviously I don't want to get you into trouble.
Take it with a pinch of salt, everybody.
But the guy who invented these sort of vaccines said, that this stuff is too effective to the point that it will attack that one thing, but it will send white blood cells to attack these things, and it will block up the system so that any other virus can come in and make you ill because it won't be attacking anything else but that one thing, and then blocking the whole system. So allowing you to get sick through other means. It's very dodgy.
Apparently, healthy, fit, young sportsmen and women have just been dropping dead for no apparent reason, and they've been
all of a sudden.
Yeah,
and the flu's cured. By the way, there were no reports of any flus. in 2020. Isn't that amazing? So there we go.
I
Very.
wished I'd never had the jabs.
And someone said as well that the average, what is it they said? It was, if you get COVID, the average age that you would be at risk of was something like 83 or something like that. But the average death is at 82. So get COVID, live a year longer. That was just so bizarre to me. Yeah.
Melvin has put a link for something we should watch. So I'm trusting Melvin's judgment. Okay. I'm not having any more jabs. I think I'm done.
Oh, MC, are you all right?
He is on it today.
The castle. Ah.
So other than Lee, we've all been jabbed, have we?
Yep.
I think
Been
so,
jabbed
yeah.
twice
Yeah.
because of my mum.
Yeah, same here because of the old fella.
This is how stupid it is too. Like I got it right when it first was available because I have a heart condition, and we learn later this is why we have to get boosters because it's really only effective for like up to 6 months. But they will still, if I had to go into a place and they were carding you for your vax to make sure you're vaxxed, they'll still accept that 2-year-old card. So it's really just like a virtue signal card because it's not like it actually means anything.
How are these things only effective for 6 months when they do not leave your system? Once it's in there, it doesn't leave. We were told that. So how is it suddenly it doesn't? What is it? Just sit there clogging your system up, not doing anything?
I don't know.
I mean, it's really weird.
I'd noticed when I had my second booster, my 5G reception was spot on.
I remember one of my friends. He went to
Thinking
he
man's
went
joke.
to Texas, and he lied and said that he had his injection, his booster thing, and he didn't, and they didn't even check. They just at the thing they said, okay, fine, you can go through.
Yeah.
So that's how slack everything is now. It's become really slack. Do you know what I mean?
I want to be clear as well that I'm not saying that COVID doesn't exist. Of course it does.
I think it does. I think it does. Yeah.
He did die from it, but he had a hell of a lot of underlying health conditions. So I wouldn't want to take any of that, away from what he experienced and that loss to his family. But these vaccines are preying on people, seemingly.
Movie, care to read a comment?
Let's do it. Says, hold out for the booster rewards. Free Rings of Power merch with each jab coming soon.
That's an incentive.
I'm in line already. Sign me up.
Okay, so we were sold a pup. Okay. Finally, for the channel, I think we're going.
It's happening to me.
These are for the comic artist peeps. Did anybody see this
I did not.
movie?
No, that's crazy.
This
sad.
guy's apparently I think this was July. There were three people in trouble in the water. I think there were a couple were children, and how do you pronounce his name? Kazuki Takahashi.
That looks right.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Jumped in to save the kids from drowning.
Wow, what a hero!
And he drowned.
Men are heroes sometimes. Remember that, Marvel?
Did they survive, the children?
Yeah, they did. I think it was on. The reason why I think it was June or July, and the reason why it's taken so long to come out is because it was on a military base or located on near a military base. And
that's sad.
This guy, fucking hero.
He is a hero.
What a badass.
Yep.
Saving 3 people.
Well, all men are heroes. I mean, like World War I, World War II. They were fighting. They were in the front lines. You know what I mean? So Marvel should have more respect for men. That's what I say.
Yep.
I will say perhaps we all, after the stream, we all should check out this guy's work.
No, I do
Agreed.
like Yu-Gi-Oh, so I don't. But that's the TV show. I don't know if it's if he did anything on the TV show.
I think it's a genuine shame. Hero.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good on him.
Okay. That's it, folks.
That's all, folks.
I think we got deep at a few points.
We did. We should have turned left at Albuquerque, definitely.
Yeah. I will say, J.K. Rowling, please come on the channel.
Yes, please.
Only because Ian wants to, you know what I'm about to say.
Ian. Okay. MC,
Offer of
hero
marriage.
or hero? Well done,
Hero.
MC. Hero, mate. Hero. Okay. Please consider donating to the channel. Links in the description. Pin message, all that bollocks. You know the score. So that's it. End of the episode. I will.
Yeah.
Yes. Genuinely great stream tonight.
Yeah, it was fun.
I will thank the chat. Always the same beautiful people with their beautiful inputs. We are nothing without you guys. You know that. A few lurkers. And yes, I did have a reasonable birthday. I went to see Halloween, but I was disappointed, but never mind. I think the movie Cynic, here you go, folks. Is this your vid that's coming up, Matt?
That's the one in 30 minutes premiering this video that they made me edit 4 minutes out of. I didn't get to say everything I wanted, but I get to say a lot. So,
okay, so that's movie Cynic's painful She-Hulk video. Just think of all that lovely.
a labor of hate.
Yes. Okay. So I think that's it. Chat, thank you. We will see you next time, chat. We are truly nothing without you guys. So I will thank the guests in order of my screen. Matty Catty, cheers, pal. Good to have you back.
Yeah, it's always a good time. I always have fun with you guys.
The wonderful movie cynic, also a Matt. Cheers, Matt.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Hope the video goes well, mate. I'm sure it'll be a blinder. So the wonderful problem being.
Thanks for allowing me to rant like a crackle.
You bring your A game to the table, my friend, and that's all I ever ask. And last but by no means least, it's the mega geek himself, Ian David Diaz. Cheers, Ian.
No worries, guys. No worries.
I think that's it, guys. I would say we're going to pop up midweek, but I doubt it because I've been streaming every day since Thursday. And yes, I need some time away from YouTube, but we will be back at some point next weekend. I don't know if we're going to reinstate the films. Everybody wants us to do the films. Maybe I should, etc., etc. But either way, we will be back next Sunday. So I think that's it. Have a great week, everybody, and we will see you next time. Tatty bye.
Bye.
Bye.